So this is Jim, and this is Slop in the Shop time. Slop in the Shop's basically my collection of mail call, this and that pieces. So enjoy the video that you're fixing to see. See, we get a little bit old slop in the shop. We'll feed the pig. Have a good one. And this has became one of the most used tools in my shop. What I'm doing here, I'm gonna make it. This is gonna be like a shorty tool block. So I'm on the reason when I finish it, I'm gonna just do this much today because I'm fly cutting. But the bottom line is, I'm just milling this. So I'm just taking a pencil and marked it out, and I'm gonna leave about a 1/16 of an inch or so to true it up with. And then once we're going to cut it off, and I'm not going to show you sawing it. I mean, you've seen plenty of this, so I'm just going to start. I'm just going to saw it right here and be done with it. What we're doing is squaring this up again. I sawed it, and you see me fly cut the ends, so I'm going back in and fly cut it again. We're running about 280 with this fly cutter. I don't like to push it. And all I'm doing is just sort of cleaning it up. Once I get it cleaned up, it'll be square, and then I'll be ready to do the machining I want to do on that. That's going to be a little bit thinner than the standard BXA holder, but it'll be just fine because what I'm going to do is I've already got, you know, tool in mind. It's laying in the drawer to go in. I took out of another one, and it's a cut down tool, so it'll work just fine. There we go. We're getting there. I'm not going to bore you, obviously. I'm working on several different projects at one time. Okay, this is the block that I'm going to make the tool holder out of. It's all squared up now. Fly cut on 3 of 4, most of the corners except the one that I already had milled. This is the same material out of the other blocks. The only difference with this one is it's just a little shorter. Excuse me. Have the camera on but not the video on. I took the first 100 thousandths. I just took and laid it out and just measured it, got it close. Put the groove in it, got the mister going this morning. I've got a new wireless microphone. Please give me some feedback on the sound. This is basically a 1/2 inch deep groove. I'm using my 3/4 inch indexable milling cutter this morning. Running about 490. I do not push my stuff now. You know, you get to doing the calculations, and this is mild steel, so you don't see as much blue chip as you do working the tool holders I've been working on the past few days. The cool mist is something I've really enjoyed, and the coolant that I'm using is, I basically got it before I retired from eating. And I just basically got it out of the sump. It's a Halton mixture right now. I've actually got some more to mix up. And what I did to keep it from spoiling is put a little household cleaner in it to give it a little smell, so you don't, it kind of keeps the bacteria from growing. So actually I got like a lemon cleaner in this, so you can put pine, you know, I have in the past, we have in the job put pine sol. So I'm not going to bore you, we're just going to mill down through this and get our 1/2 inch deep slot in it. Excuse me, we'll do this again. I don't have no set screws, I'm waiting on them. I got some on order. So that's the completed block. I've already just took a piece of stock, scratched it with a tool that's known center. So to get the kind of idea of the center height of what I needed. And so this is a completed tool block. Right now I'm just waiting on the screws. Good, we got a couple items I want to show you. This is a flea market find I picked up today for $2, a little pump oil can. I'm going to use this one on the mill for cutting oil. And this is another MCLNR holder that I have plans for that we'll review at a later date. It come through eBay. So that came in this week. Just a couple of quick items I wanted to get recorded on video for some of the things we're going to be working on. I have my soft job project going on at this time. Hopefully by the time you see this video, I've done finished the soft jaws. They're in progress. So that's kind of where we at, and I just wanted to give you a quick update. Thank you. Okay, now what I'm going to do today isn't a very complicated job. It's just something I like to do. I bought this tool holder for another gift, actually. Get the coolant drawn up onto it. And the mister needs a so what we're going to do is take a little 50,000 cuts here. You see me adjusting it. And I've got this set at like a 30-degree angle. And what this is for is this is going to be one of those tool holders like I have made in the past, but this is another gift. And basically what you're doing when you're doing this is you're creating a relief. So that the tool holder will be able to get in narrower spots. So, you know, that's basically kind of what we're doing here. We're just taking a bunch of little milling passes and we're milling off this. I'm only taking about 50 thousandths at a time because it's only about what's practical with this setup. I've just got the part setting up in the vise on an angle plate, and so that's all I'm doing here. I'm cutting off some. It's a slow process. These holders are fairly tough, even with the cutoff saw like I'm using. So, you know, what I've done here is I've got my cutoff saw and I've flipped it over, and I got a piece behind it so I can line them up short. I done cut one off. I'm actually going to do two of these, and this is the one you see me doing the cut back on. So this is another piece of shop. I am working on a project. I've modified paint cups before, and I've had pretty good results with them. But I've come up with a new method, and I just thought I'd show it on video. I thought I was going to cheap out and glue a piece of PVC, and the first one I made is what I did. So I used a piece of PVC pipe and made a little plastic bushing. These cups I have right now, they're 1¼ inch cups. So these are a little shorter. So what we do, there we go, that fits fine. We're just making what we're going to do is we just took a piece of plastic here, Durling, kind of wasted Durling, but I got some more in order. I'm actually going to send some of these out for gifts. In fact, I'm thinking very seriously, I'm going to check, thinking out seriously about 2 of them. I'll probably go up to Mr. Fenner, I think, for the box, or 3. I'm going to send 3 up to Mr. Fenner because I think that'd be good. I mean, it's a good little cheap box. 1.25 inches plus okay, turn around this way. That's good. My phone dings. My sweetheart. So let's just whack this off right quick. Now I'll answer my pet. That's all there is to it. We're just going to turn them down, rinse and repeat. I'm going to redo this. When I cut it out, I've done a minute and got long-winded. Apologize. This is a Melissa and Doug paint cup. Mine come from Amazon. Locally, I can't find these. Hobby Lobby doesn't carry them anymore, or the local one don't. And I've never seen these at Michael's. They may be there and I just hadn't found them. So these I bought from Amazon. I bought 4 of them. And I've done a video a while back on how to modify them with using PVC pipe and make a sleeve. I've done this one a little different. It's going to be for a gift. I took a piece of Durlin and just basically machined it to fit this, punched a 3/4 inch hole through it, and just glued it together, super glue. And that'll give you a really good spill-proof cup. Basically, that's how the Spill Master's made. And it's a real good quick mod to these cups. You can do like I did before and make a plastic, or if you have some material, a Durling to make a bushing, you can make a bushing and put a pipe in it. I've done it this way because it makes a little stronger wall up here at the top. The ways I've done these before, that bushing's really thin sometimes to go down in there. So, now and again, fits in a slot in the shop. This is a gift for a guy on the message board I'm going to go see that lives locally when I go by to pay him a visit here this week. All right, we'll just add this to the list, the slot and shop stuff. Have a good one. This is why you don't have Bradford pears in your yard. And we're going to get rid of the rest of this tree today. Pretty much so, because it's got to go. So that's Bradford pear. This whole one limb done broke off. So you won't see this at least in my ever video. Have a good one. Okay, the first things first is you see I've repaired this. This is what I done was sliced a piece of this off. You see, previous video clip will be in the shop. This is the post damage here. It's kind of cracked, but I'm gonna leave it. It's sitting there and it's fine. I may put a self-threading screw in it later. This is a yard. Where I cut the yard up. Trees are cut down, cleaned up, grass cut, limbs kind of chewed up. Everything's in order. So this is like a 4-day process to do this, to cut the trees down. Now, I still like doing the stumps. And what we're going to probably do with these Bradford pear stumps is drill them and cover them and Epsom salt them to get rid of them. But it clean, you know, we basically had a limb down all in this upper area where I'm pointing to between the trees and the house. It's where we had a lot of limbs at. So it's all cleaned up. So that's part of what's been going on. I forgot yesterday when I was, or the day, and I was shooting the flea market finds. Some guys at the flea market have a little hardware, and they, my sweetheart, she wanted some of those brushes. They had some guy had them like the same kind that you'd find at the Harbor Freight for $1 for 3 of them. You know, little brushes, you need them. And we didn't want to break some money, and he happened to have some washers, so I got $1 worth of 1/4 inch lock washers at the flea market. And Friday, I stopped at the Ace Hardware in Cherryville on my way back from visiting my mother, and got 3 metric Allen bolts for the soft jaw project. You heard me say this before, and I'll say this again. If for stuff that you're going to be using a lot of, washers, bolts, sizes you really use a lot of, guys, do yourself a favor and buy 100 of them or buy a box. You know, like 1/4-inch bolts, you use a lot of them. Pick some of them up. Me and me met Lowe's or somewhere, because you buy 50 or 100 of them, they're so much cheaper. You go to the hardware and buy like these, you could probably buy 25 of these from McMaster for maybe for a pretty reasonable price. At the hardware, these are just about $1 and something a piece. You know, fairly expensive, because what it is, they got to sit there till they get their money out of it. I bought these especially for soft jaws, so that's a tip that I try to do. And I've got the same thing on my set screws. I'm going to redo another tool block, and you heard me talk about it, just hadn't got to it yet. And when I do it, I'm going to end up having to do the same thing. All right, let me get out of here, and we'll get set up on what we're going to work on today. This came today, some inserts. I wanted to try these some 431s since I've never used them. So we're going to see how they work. There's some Kennametals. The 910 is supposed to be a pretty good grade. I'm going to give them a whirl. So that came. Okay, now on my mail table is a little shop gift that I received last week from a gentleman that's on the message board, the Home Shop Machinist board that I'm a member of. He actually lives a few miles away, and he was also gracious enough to be nice enough to let me put some of my limbs in his gully. So, from the Bradford Pear tree. So when I went over to visit, we're going to see each other a good bit. I'm not going to name his name because he does watch my videos. He knows who he is, so I'm not going to broadcast all that out in public. But he gave me a chip brush. He bought a case of Tap Magic. This is some really good stuff here, tapping fluid. And he has a bunch, and these are 1032 taps, which I use a lot of them, and a chip brush. I took him a couple of my cups that I have here, you know, to do the modified paint cups. And in case you hadn't seen these, and I've showed these in several videos, these are the latest ones I've made up. I'll just set one right here for you. The ones that you've seen in the past was Melissa's and Doug's. I bought these here on Amazon here recently, and bought 10 of them for like 16 bucks. Now I went ahead and done the whole Darling thing. You can do these in PVC. If you do one of these in PVC, one of my viewers is actually making him some, or I'd have sent him to him. He bought the cups and showed them on video here recently. I've showed these before. With these diameters right here, a piece of 3/4 PVC or CPVC will not fit this without a bushing. Now that's why I used a piece of Darling, but you can, if you want to be a little lower buck, if you got a lathe, obviously you got one of these. Just go to your home supply store and take you a piece of peat. You take your pipe and just flush it, saw it off, and use your coupling to do this, and then just turn the lip where it would fit, and then glue it. Now one thing I'm going to warn you, and I tried this, so I learned this by experience, and I want to throw this in. You can't use any other glue but like CA glue or what you call super glue to glue this to the plastic. It just will not work. You know, if you got some other glue to glue your other, you might could with 5-minute epoxy. I've never tried it. These are all CA glued in place, so that's another tip on that. So no further ado, I got another project I'm gonna work on. I'll bring you along. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I enjoyed making it for you. This again, a quick thanks to all the folks who subscribe and comment on my channel. And if you're not yet a subscriber, please hit the little subscribe button there, below the video. Again, this is a copyrighted production of James Dedman Sawlogs Plastic Hubs. And I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you on the next video.